But I want to tell you, have you ever done a fast, James?
Not intentionally.
Maybe when you were sick or something?
Yeah, I've probably gone like about a day or so without eating, but it wasn't by design.
Okay, so let me just lead you into day one. So for me, day one is generally the worst, but this year it wasn't so bad. But because you have a lot of food left over in your stomach, so your body goes from kind of burning that food then to burning sugar that's stored in your liver, basically, like
And
your
glycogen.
yeah. So that's your sugar that's in your blood. Um, the thing about day one is you can get some pretty serious like hunger pangs, and that can suck. And then if you typically have caffeine, you can get some pretty bad headaches, which are just exacerbated on the fact that you have nothing else to look forward to. Like if you got a headache, you can't be like, all right, well, you know what, let me go have something to eat, or have a soda or something. You're just kind of sat there and have to endure the headache without any
Are you
distraction.
allowed to take like ibuprofen or something?
Um, you could. So I just had a conversation about having medicine. I said, well, I'm making my rules. So if I wanted medicine, I could have it, but I'm going to try to avoid it because it's actually pretty good for your immune system. So I'll give you day two. So day two, you enter gluconeogenesis, I'm guessing is the pronunciation of the word. So your glycogen stores are depleted. So basically your blood sugars are depleted. And then your body starts creating glucose from protein and fat. And then your body actually starts to enter ketosis, where your liver starts converting fat into ketones, which is another source of energy for your brain and heart. But day two, you can get some pretty serious fatigue and dizziness, and bad breath, apparently. Um, I've had some decent energy all throughout. Not the type of energy where I can like lift weights, but I went for a mile walk today because I was frustrated, and today's day four. So like it can't be that bad. Day three is when you really reach peak ketosis. So your body enters a state where your insulin levels drop. I'm reading along here, but it says by nearly half. Autophagy peaks. So that's where your body starts to clean house and break down just old and damaged protein. So that's where it actually, day three is like 3 day fasts are considered like the best fasts to have because they're very good. Um, and then day three is also where your general hunger pangs and serious hunger tend to fall down a little. It's just not as you're not as super hungry as you were before. So day three is like the sweet spot. Day three is where I was like, all right, I feel like I could go for another 3 days. Um, and supposedly you get some mental clarity, because you're not focused on kind of this always craving food because that goes away. And if you had any headaches, those are gone. Day four, which is where I am now, your growth hormone levels increase. So that's pretty cool, because your body's trying to preserve muscle. And one of the downsides of long fasts is that your body actually ends up burning more muscle than it does fat. And you'll lose weight, but it's usually water weight and lean muscle mass weight. So that's, and you lose some fat, but fat tends to go at a slower rate than muscle. Uh, you have an adrenaline spike, so you have a little extra energy on day four, but then your body can feel colder because your body might lower its temperature to save energy. And then day five, which is tomorrow for me, that's when you get some stem cell regeneration, and your immune system starts to really grow. And I guess it has to do with like what's the word I'm looking for? What's inside of your bones? Bone marrow. Bone marrow starts to shrink and basically clear out old immune cells. I guess there's a lot of immune cells in your bone
That
marrow.
that
So,
doesn't make sense.
well, hey, I'm just reading along, but I fact checked a few different sources here. So
Some of that sounds correct, and some of that sounds like pseudoscience.
some of it, yeah, well, this doesn't sound that pseudoscientific to me, but I don't know exactly how you would test for that. It seems very finite to be able to test bone marrow content, uh, on a 5 day fast. But I imagine that your bone marrow probably decreases on starvation, and day five is when you're kind of hitting starvation mode. Uh, and then what I'm reading is kind of on average is about 4.5 pounds people lose on a 5 day fast. But you should not be doing this for weight loss because you're going to end up burning a lot of muscle. And then when you do start eating, your metabolism is going to be lower because you're not burning as many calories every day.
And that weight's going to come right back.
And the weight, yeah, reintroducing calories is very tough. I actually last year I did it. 2 years ago, I think I did it, and then I went to a friend's house for the weekend, and I just ate like normal. We had a big meal, and that was a big mistake. Absolutely nothing went down, and I ended up throwing up for like, I don't know, at least 24 hours. I literally could just feel everything that I ate stop like right in the center of my stomach, and that was it. So I don't know. And then we're doing dry January. So what has compelled you to do it? I've been doing dry January for the last few years.
Well, I tried to do it last year, and I made it to like the 27th until I had to come up to New York and decided to end it prematurely. But I don't know. I just like the concept of it, of like me saying it's a way for me to say I don't need to drink.
Yeah,
and I can do it for a whole month, and it's not going to disrupt my life. And like drinking is fun, and I enjoy it, but no sane person will tell you that drinking is good for you.
so yeah, I do it really for like the mental fortitude, and to be able to say like I can go without drinking because I do drink. I have a particularly unique lifestyle where, like here's the thing is you're like, oh, I'm only going to drink at special events. In my life, like there are special events where you're being like pulled to every single day, which I generally try to avoid because there's so many of them and you have to pick and choose. So you can't go to, everybody's birthday every year. You can't go to every freaking event. But it is nice to just say, hey, I'm doing a dry January. People it's very popular now, apparently.
Yeah. And my reasons are similar. Just like saying like, hey, I can do this and it's not going to be a problem for me. Like I can just drop it. And so like the only potential way that I've broken dry January is that I probably woke up on January 1st with some appreciable BAC.
I certainly did. I certainly did.
But I didn't have anything to drink on 1/1, and I'm clear through today's the 8th, and I don't foresee any problems for the next 3 weeks. So let's get to the topic at hand.
All right, hats off to that.